Hello! 2020 is over, pretty much. We only have a couple weeks left. This was my first year making videos. I started at the beginning of 2020. My first video was a 2020 reading goals video, and here I am. I made it a whole year making videos semi-consistently. I think I posted at least 2 a month, which is not bad. I'm going to continue trying to do at least 2 a month. I did experiment a lot with different types of videos, like different ways of recording, and I think that's probably going to continue into 2021 because I still haven't quite figured out what I prefer. If I prefer sitting and talking in front of a camera, if I prefer doing vlogs like casually, or if I like talking, like speaking into a microphone and then adding visual aspects of it after the fact. So we'll see. Who knows, maybe there's another way, another type of video that I still haven't even tried yet. I would like to focus more on book reviews rather than other miscellaneous videos. So hopefully we'll see more of that next year. So in 2020, I read a lot of books. I have consistently been growing the number of books I've been reading each year ever since I started keeping track. Basically, back in 2018 I started keeping track, and it's steadily gone up since then. I've read an average of 4 or 5 books a month. I've read a wide variety of things. Read comics and manga. I've been reading ebooks too, which I didn't really read much of before, and I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks and obviously physical books, which is my preferred method of reading. But no, I think it's been a good year reading wise. I've read a lot of really good books that I've liked. We had some new favorites. There have been some meh books and I've passed them along. I really do like getting rid of books, strangely. I like passing them on. Even if I didn't really enjoy them, someone might. So I recently went and rewatched my 2020 reading goals video, which was only a little cringy to watch. I don't like going back to watch old videos because it feels so uncomfortable watching them, but it wasn't that bad. And I looked over my goals watched and wrote down my goals because I didn't actually write them down for 2020, and I didn't do great. I did all right with my goals. So the goals that I did achieve, I read some new releases, which was a goal of mine because whenever I buy a book, I usually don't read it for a long time because I have a backlog of books that I already own that I want to get to. So even though I'm really excited about a book when I first buy it and like I want to read it right then, I don't usually pick it up right away, and then it's months go by or years go by before I actually read it. I kind of wanted to change that and read some books, some new books as I got them. And I did read a couple of new books, mostly audiobooks that I listened to. The Hilarious World of Depression. I'm currently listening to Vagabond, and then I read The Dark Tide, which I think came out this year. I don't remember. I feel like there's something else too that I'm forgetting. Another goal that I did accomplish was to read some nonfiction. I read In the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson, and I loved it. I love all of his books. Not surprised. I'm planning on reading The Splendid and the Vile soon, so adding another Larson book to my repertoire. I also, what other nonfiction books? I listened to October by China Mayville, which was good, but at the same time, I probably should have physically read it because it was hard to remember all the Russian names when just listening to it. I got a lot of people confused. And the goals that I did not accomplish, I did not read as many self-published books as I wanted to. I think I read 2. I read one at the beginning of the year that I didn't really like, but then I read one that was an ebook from my library. It was 50 short stories in 50 words. So 50 word short stories. Yes, that. And it was interesting. it was nice little break from everything else that I was reading to like go in and read a couple short stories every day. So I liked that. I do think that with this next year, I'll probably read more self-published books, because now that I have my library app on my phone, they have a section dedicated to self-pub books, so I'll have more easy access to those books to read. And then the other goal that I did not accomplish, oh, there were two. The other goal that I did terribly on was finishing the anthologies that I already owned. There were 3. I didn't read them at all. I don't think I might have read like a couple stories out of one. I might have done that way early in the year, but I haven't touched them in months. I did read some anthologies that I purchased this year, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to get through what I already owned, which I didn't do. And then my last goal was to reread books, which I always want to do and I always plan on doing, but then end up not doing. I end up picking up books that I haven't read before or haven't read yet because I want to read those. I used to reread books all the time. That's what I did a lot before this huge spike in my reading the last few years. And I still really want to reread books, but I just haven't been prioritizing it. Maybe I'll do it this coming year, but I don't know, we'll see. I did reread Warbreaker, it's because I got a nice new copy of it and I hadn't read it in a few years, so I figured since I got a new one, I would read it. Yeah, that's how my goals went for 2020, so not great. I didn't really pay attention to it. I wasn't really actively thinking about it at all throughout the year. So when I did like accomplish a goal, it was just kind of luck or happenstance. It wasn't intentional. There were some books that I was planning on reading. I didn't make it a goal. I just said I'm gonna read these books, and I did end up reading all of those. I was planning on finishing the Dune series, which I did, and I loved it. I love the series. That's something that I actually considered rereading towards the end of the year. So I read Dune, the first book, last year, and there was a pretty big gap between reading Dune and then reading all of the other books. So I kind of wanted to reread Dune. But obviously I haven't done that. Maybe I'll do it this year. I would like to. Maybe even reread the whole series. I don't know. That's kind of ambitious considering I haven't been rereading all the other books that I wanted to reread, but whatever. I read books 3 and 4 in the Wheel of Time series. I really liked book 3 a lot. Book 4 was good too. There are things that I like about the series, things that I don't like about the series. It's just not a series that I can binge. I really wanted to be able to get through it like really quickly, but I can't. When I read one, I have to take a break. I have to. I own the 5th book now and I'm planning on starting it in January. It's sort of become a tradition to read a Wheel of Time book at the beginning of the new year. So that's probably what I'm gonna start 2020 with. I'm actually looking forward to continuing it. So we'll see how that goes. And then I was planning on reading The Lord of the Rings, which I did. I read the whole trilogy and I loved it. My favorite book was The Two Towers. Out of the 3, that was my favorite book. I haven't read The Silmarillion yet. Probably read it this year. I also have Beren and Luthien. I don't know if that's all like separate from the Silmarillion or if there's some overlap with the stories. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into it when I picked it up. Probably should have, but oh well. And then I was also planning on starting Earthsea, which I did. I read the first book and I really liked it. I now own the 2nd book. I haven't started it yet because I'm waiting for someone to finish reading the first book so that we can read the 2nd book together. You know who you are. So once that happens, I'll continue with the rest of the series. So yeah, that's how 2020 went pretty well, reading wise. So for 2020, I don't plan on having a lot of big goals like I did last year, really specific goals. I do want to read more self-published books. I think that that'll be a little bit easier this year with my library app, being able to read books through there, and I'll try and find books. I know that there's some lists out there too of like that are made monthly or quarterly of a lot of new self-published books, and I do want to look at those and see if anything catches my eye. But besides that, I really would rather do shorter challenges, shorter goals. I really like doing readathons or like personal challenges. It's easier for me to have the shorter challenges, and it's just more fun that way. I find it more fun that way, the shorter challenges. Yeah, so I'll probably do that. I have a cup with prompts in it that I put together, so I'll be pulling more from that this year as well. I did a couple last year and posted on my Instagram, but I'll do more of it this year. Besides that, the only goal that I really have, and it's a really hard goal, and I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it, but I have a problem, and that problem is buying books. I live in a small apartment. I don't have a lot of space. Starting early next year, I'm not going to be the only person living in this apartment, which means I'll have even less space, and I can't stop buying books, and books take up space, so it's a problem. Yes. Primarily, I do this when books are on sale. When I see a book that's like $3, I can't help it, almost. Like, it's such a problem. So I really need to stop doing that. I need to both stop buying new books, at least limit it somehow, and get through the books that I already physically own. I counted it out, and I have about 90 books on my physical TBR shelf, and about half of those are books that I purchased this year. So that's a problem that I need to work on. I really want to clear out some of those books. Either like I'll love them and I'll put them on my regular bookshelf, or if I don't like them, then I'll pass them along, which I don't mind doing. And I just gotta get through them and stop buying new books. I don't know how this goal is gonna go because I have very, very bad self-control when it comes to these kind of things. So that's how 2020 went. Hopefully 2021 is just as great and even better because I'll stop buying books. Thank you if you've been watching my videos so far this year. Thank you for watching them. If you're new, I hope that you continue watching my videos into the coming year, and bear with me with all the different types of videos that I put out. I'm just trying to find what I like to do, and it's a process, it's a journey. Feel free to let me know the things that you like and the things that you don't, things that work and things that don't work. Let me know too what your goals are for 2021. Do you have super rigid goals, or is it more broad? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!